rolling, keep doing what we do, and today we're going to learn about how to strengthen the pectoralis major, aka your chest muscle, all right? It is designed to bring the arms in front of the body from many different angles, and there are lots of exercises you can do for it. You can do flies, hold dumbbells, or have the pads bring your body in front of the body, or you can do crossovers if you have a cable in your commercial gym. But the best exercise of all for your body and your pectoralis major is the bench press. And the bench press doesn't get any better, all right? It's basically, if you were to do a push-up, which we've discussed many times, up and down, but those are pretty easy for some people. We got to have resistance. It's doing a push-up in reverse using the bar for weight. And we're going to head right over to the weight room and show you exactly how it's done. Let's go, boys.
All right. It's true, push-up is great for the pecs, but sometimes it's just not enough weight.
Back in our locker room once again. I feel like I should show you all the construction on the pool since you guys suffered through it for so long. She goes down and sees me again. All right, we're going to go back to our trusty power rack for the bench press. First thing I'm going to do is adjust so I can use the bar properly. And I happen to know where it is because I use this thing pretty regularly. Okay, put that there like such. Okay, now I'm going to grab the bench. Oh, yeah. Slide it into the power rack. We do have bench presses that are fixed in the other room. Mr. Janice has his stuff in there, so I'm going to show you utilizing our power rack and how to safely bench press from within the power rack. All right. The purpose of the bench press is to work the pectoralis major. The motion is very similar to the push-ups, but there are lots of safety measures that you have to take. First and foremost, it's important to know that this is a 45-pound Olympic weight bar. If it falls on you, it will hurt. So you have to be very careful when utilizing this bar. You have to be very careful. Usually, you'll use a spotter, but because of COVID-19, we're going to have to take it a little easy, and that way we'll discuss the spotters, but we won't use them because it's not safe at this current moment. But here's the bar. If this thing lands on you, that's not going to feel good, guys. Okay. First thing to do when you're bench pressing is have the correct placement of your body. Make sure the bar is evenly loaded. In this case, there's no weight on the bar, so it's even because there's nothing on the bar, just the 45-pound bar. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put my feet evenly placed next to the bench. I don't want one foot way out and one foot normal. I don't want one foot way up and one foot way back. I want them evenly placed, both widthwise away from the bench and lengthwise comparative to the other foot. Right? My buttocks goes on the bench. And then I'm going to lean back so my shoulders are on the bench. Now, where I am right now, in comparison to the bar, is a little bit too far forward, right? What I want to make sure is, before I start the bench, that my eyes are looking directly up at the bar and my eyebrows are right underneath it. What this does is allow me to know that I have enough dexterity in my body to pull the bar forward. Also, I have the right amount of room to be able to lower the bar to my chest. So I'm going to move back just a taste. And now the bar is right above my eyebrows. All right? That will allow me to have the perfect balance. Notice my feet came back with me. They're evenly placed. They're not still up there. They're not moved either which way. All right? My buttocks is in the middle of the bench. My shoulder blades are on the bench. Now, looking up, you want to make sure the bar is over your eyebrows and the horizontal plane, and my nose should be even with the center of the bar. That's how I know that the bar is not unloaded to one side. Otherwise, if the bar is loaded one way and I have a lot of weight on the bar, when I lift, it could be lighter on one side and heavier on the other. So I want to make sure that my nose is right underneath the center of the bar. Okay, hand placement is very similar to the shoulder press. Now, the chest muscle works in a different function here. The wider you go, the more chest is involved. But the bench press, because there are two joints moving, the shoulder and the elbow, means that it's a compound movement. So I have two muscles involved, and I want to make sure that both muscles are included in the lift. Actually, three when you throw in the anterior deltoid. Pectoralis major, anterior deltoid, and the tricep, right? My placement can be like the other one. I can use the ring to grab one pinky finger around the ring, and I do the same thing to the other side. I can take my thumb and put it right where the smooth part of the bar meets the knurling, and extend my thumb while keeping it there, and then do the same thing to the other side, and then get even placement, and then make a fist around the bar. All right? I can do a number of different ways, but I'm going to use this one here with the thumb method. Extend it out. It's nice and even. Grip the bar evenly, and then I'm going to firm my buttocks, my feet, and my shoulder blades, and then I'm going to slowly extend my arms, bring the bar forward, take a deep breath in, lower the bar, touch my chest, and then with a little bit of power, push the bar out straight. This is like the push-up motion, except for I'm pushing the bar up instead of pushing my body up. Remember, when we're doing this, whatever the resistance is, in the push-up, it's our body. In the bench press, it's the bar. We're pushing the bar or our body against gravity. So one more time, lower it down slowly under control. Touch the chest and push up. Now if you notice, I'm not flaring my elbows out all the way to the side. All right? What I'm doing is bringing the elbows down towards the body. This is the best position for power. And then I push up. I'm going to rack the bar to show you that if I were to push somebody, all right, I wouldn't want to run out, put my arms wide and try to push them. There's no power there. Push straight. Or if a boxer punches somebody, they don't punch people like they're Pac-Man, all right? Straight next to the body, you explode forward with the movement. The same is true of the bench press, all right? So, once again, bar placement. Use my thumb, put it out, and then I'm going to take a deep breath in, extend my arms, lower it down, push up. Lower it down, and then push up. We're going to do 3 sets of 10. Now, this is a bar. It's very light for me, but not everyone's the same, which is why you as a student should use a spotter. The spotter's job is to make sure that your partner is safe. So, if we were not in a COVID-19, I would show you with either Mr. Mitchell or Mr. Mornhenwig, all right? You would have someone who would stand behind the bar, and as they're standing behind the bar, they would be ready to spot. Their hands would be right here on the smooth part. And when my bench presser, my visible bench presser would say, go, I'd help him pick the bar up, bring it out, and then he would do the exercise. While they're exercising, my hands would be coming down, not on the bar, but near the bar. In case there was any accidents or missteps, I could grab the bar quickly and help them place it back to safety right here on the bench press rack. All right, what I'm going to do now is show you how to load weight onto the bar and do the bench press. All right, I'm going to grab a 45-pound plate and we have too many 45-pound plates right there. Grab a 45-pound plate and put it onto the bar. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. All right, move this one out of the way just for right now, for demonstration purposes. Put it onto the other. Now the key to this is you want to make sure you utilize the safety clips so the weight does not fall off when you are lifting weights. It'd be very bad if you tilted the bar and the weight fell off one side and then it would probably go the other way. You dump the bar, you could hurt someone standing next to the machine, or you could even hurt yourself. So put the clip on, you're going to squeeze it, it'll get a little bit bigger, put it on the end of the bar, release it, now that weight's locked in place. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Now, that weight's not going anywhere. All right, same principles apply. I'm going to sit on the bench with my feet even. I'm going to sit back. Make sure my eyebrows are right underneath the bar. Now, if my eyebrows aren't underneath the bar, what's going to happen if I'm too far back? My head's off the bench, all right? Now, when I bench too, I'm also going to hit these little lips here. And trust me, it happens, and it throws people off. So I want to make sure my eyebrows are underneath the bar. If I'm too far forward, then it's going to be hard for me to get the bar into position, and I can hurt myself. So, eyebrows underneath the bar, all right? I'm going to grab my thumb for spacing purposes. Make sure my hand is accurately spaced on both sides. I'm going to grip around the bar, get myself in position, get my mental capacity right. I need to know how many times I'm going to hit this before I go, all right? And I'm going to do it a couple of times for you just to show you, right? Take a deep breath, push up, lower the bar down to my chest, push it up, lower it down, push up, lower it down, push up, lower it down, push up. And I'm going to put it right back on the rack when I'm done. And that is the bar, which is 45 pounds, plus a 45-pound plate on this side, and a 45-pound plate on this side. And that is the grand total of how many kids? You're in 7th grade? I hope you said 135 pounds. If you didn't say 135 pounds, I'm going to tell Mr. Cheng you need to take his tutoring class. All right. That's a warm-up. You can add more weight on if you can go for it. Take the plate off, the clip off, put more weight on, put the clip back on. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. And then you get back up underneath the bar. You're going to sit down, make sure your butt's in the right position, your feet are even. Scoot back so you can lay and get your eyebrows right underneath the bar and get your right hand placement. Okay? Now I can tell you right now, because I've been benching for years, this bar is a little bit over to this side. How do I know? Just because I know. So, use the finger method, where I can tell if the bar is even at the end. I can use the visual method for my nose. I'm just going to move the bar just a little bit over. Now it's perfectly centered over my eyebrow and my nose. I'm going to use the finger method to find the even width. And then grip the bar with the fist. And when you're ready, usually you count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. Push out. Lower it down. Touch the butt, the chest, and push up. Touch the chest and push up. And the key is to understand, as with the concept of no pain, no gain, you should work out until the last one is challenging. All right? If the last rep is not challenging and you're not warming up, meaning you're doing an actual set, you need to reevaluate the weight that you're working with. Are there any questions from Mr. Mitchell, for Mr. Mitchell's class?
I take it that's 90, 90, and 45. That's 2 1/4.
That's 225, yeah.
That's a nice weight. That's a nice weight.
All right, well, you can get strong. Maybe one day when we're working out for real, we'll get some information for you guys and show you what a little real working out looks like. But for you guys, you're in 7th and 8th grade. No one's expecting you to be professional, all right? Just do the best that you can do where you are, and you'll slowly develop. The very first time I bench pressed in my entire life was in the weight room at Bret Hart. It was the climbing room at that time. Mr. Janice, who just left, was the weight room advisor, and I bench pressed 95 pounds. That's where he started, all right? Since then, I've surpassed that by a lot, but the point is, it took years, 15, 20 years. It didn't take 5 minutes, so it's not gonna come overnight. If it's worth working for, you'll work for it. Otherwise, as they say, easy come, easy go. So, Mr. Mornhibig, anything else we should learn in the weight room about, or any questions about the bench press?
I just think, guys, you got to remember that you want to make it burn. Like Mr. Shoemaker was saying, when it burns, that's when it starts counting. We said that a couple of videos ago, but Mr. Shoemaker can do a lot more weight than this, right, Mr. Shoemaker?
Yeah, I probably could do a significant amount more, but it'd be hard to talk to you afterwards. So.
And also, if he did do more weight, he would have spotters. So just keep that in mind. He can handle this weight pretty easily, but any more weight than this, he'd probably have spotters. So keep that in mind.
All right.
And if the kids were here and we were teaching them how to bench press, we would make sure they had a spotter.
Yes.
You have to bench press with a spotter because you never bench pressed before. You have to. It's a safety measure.
Yeah.
Right? If you get stuck, let me show you just in case, just for demonstration purposes. We're working out here. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it a long time. If you got everything right and you're working out, slide over so we're good, and you bench press, and you decide, oh, I can't get that one. Well, I'm here. You're not going anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. The weight is sitting on your body. You're not going to be able to get that up. You're going to be stuck here for a long time if you don't have a spotter. So you have to have a spotter. If you don't have a spotter, if you get stuck there, that might be the end of you. This is a very serious thing, guys, and I don't want to put any fear in you. But there have been people who have died from weightlifting accidents, from lifting at home by themselves and not having a spotter, and the bar gets stuck on their chest, or worse, they try to bench press, and they get fight out, and they get stuck on their neck, and they can't get it out. We had a student about 20 years ago who graduated from Pioneer High School, and the summer after he graduated high school, he had that very same accident. So it's serious. We believe in safety in the weight room. Very serious.
If you don't think that's serious, just right now, push on your throat a little bit. Just push on it. It hurts just by you pushing on it. Imagine 135 pounds or 225.
Okay, last thing, when we're done in the weight room with our bench press, are we done? Do we walk away? No. Be responsible. Put the weights back in the weight room. When you're deplaning the weight, usually you'll be with your partner, but since I'm by myself, don't take off all the weights on one side at once. What do you think happens if you have a whole bunch of weight on that side and no weight on this side? You got a problem.
That bar will flip.
And it goes tumbling.
I'll tell you a story. I once had a kid, he was bench pressing, and he lost control of the bar coming down, and that bar, if it wasn't for the spotter, would have hit him right in the teeth. Spotter started at the last second, grabbed that bar and saved that kid his front teeth. So, yeah, having a spotter is very, very important when you're first learning how to bench.
He would have been toothless.
He would have been.
Toothless.
And that would have been a nickname you didn't want to have.
No, that's not a good nickname to have. By any means.
Well, I've heard it said that if you ignore your teeth, they'll go away. So make sure you brush and floss, people. Brush and floss regularly.
Little public service announcement.
There you go.
All
right.
Shall we head back to headquarters?
Let's do it.
I mean, while we're walking back, why don't we show the kids the actual bench that we're talking about, the ones that are right here that we didn't use because Mr. G.
Absolutely. Right here, guys, are our normal bench presses. As you can see, Mr. Janice is using it as his workstation for the digital era. But here is the one bench press, all right, underneath the bar. We got 3 of them, right? Here's the second one. And here's the third one.
So when we have this class cranking, we have 6 kids benching all at the same time.
Right.
A spotter and a kid benching.
We got a weight tree right in the middle and on the other side to provide weight to people. And I'll be right in there, fellas. I'm just going to show them really quick. Just because, why not? For all my first period and my third period class, just want you to see the pool has been fixed finally. It's waiting for you. We miss you. And these vents, they used to be metal all the way around. They replaced. They had to hammer it up and fix everything. And there's our wonderful pool waiting for you. Well, Mr. Shoemaker's probably going to jump in after we do this workout.
All right, we're just going to quick...
All right, here we are back in the climbing room, and believe it or not, boys and girls, before this was the climbing room, Mr. Shoemaker was the student here. This was actually the weight room. The weight room had a bunch of different machines, and we had the bench presses right underneath the bar where the side is. The rope was not here.
3 giant squat racks. Remember the squat racks?
Absolutely, 3 giant squat racks. We had a big multi-station workout place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Moore-Henry, how are we doing?
We're doing great. Remember, Pectoralis major bench press is a great exercise. Now, you might not have a bench press at home. Pump out some push-ups. We like push-ups, don't we, guys?
Absolutely.
That reminds me. I've got one quick question for you guys. One quick question, all right? In middle school, what was your biggest fear? When you were the age of these people watching this video, what was your one biggest fear? I'll start. My biggest fear in middle school was sleeping overtime and being late to school. I don't like being late, so my biggest fear was I would sleep through my alarm or forget to set my alarm. That was just a fear of mine. Mr. Shoemaker?
I guess if we're being honest, my biggest fear in middle school was probably not necessarily when I'm around my friends, but when I was around the girls at school, middle school, you like young ladies, was that I would trip or do something silly to embarrass myself in front of the girls. I always try to be a little bit cognizant of, be aware, and just cool, and try to not have something happen to slip and trip or do something to embarrass myself in front of the nice young ladies.
I can relate to that, that's for sure. Mr. Mitchell.
Pimples!
Oh,
Pimples!
Pimples! I hated pimples, and I got them every once in a while. Yeah, acne. I a young kid, sports minded, running around all the time. Pimples.
That'll do it.
That's a big thing, because some of you might deal with acne and you're embarrassed, and it's hard. I had pimples every once in a while too, and it is uncomfortable. Now, think about this. Put all these together. You're running late, you see the girl you like, you trip, and you have a big zit on your nose. That's a triple whammy.
That's a bad day.
Hey guys, what do you call a pig that does karate? What do you call a pig that does karate? Pork chop! One last principle to teach you guys before we wrap this one up, guys. Sometimes in life, troubles roll downhill. You're at the bottom of a big hill and you see something coming up that's tough in your life. It's like a big piece of poop running down the hill. You see it up there. It's bouncing down the hill. You don't just stand at the bottom of the hill. You plan accordingly. Move out of the way. You're going to get hit by that big piece of poop. In life, try to, from a distance, project what might be happening in your life that might cause troubles and dodge those things. Doesn't that make sense?
Absolutely.
Poop runs downhill. Plan accordingly.
That's not a good visual, though.
No, it rolls. It's like that song. it splashes in the river.
That's even a worse video.
All right. What's going on here? I just don't know. All right. Did you get the question last time? It's Big Basin, a beautiful place. It was one of my favorite places in the world to hike. Burned down. The forest doesn't burn, but the trails are gone. The big visitor center burned down, and we're definitely going to miss that place. All right.
But it'll be back.
It will be back.
They said 1 year, they're closing it for 1 year, and they said in 1 year they'll open it back up again.
Good. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. So, Jolly Geographer has a Big Basin question for you. Another big place I like to go is down on the Monterey Peninsula. They have another big area. It's world famous along Highway 1. All right. It is just world renowned for beauty. What is that place called? All right. Another place to camp and forest to hike. What is that place called? Mr. Mitchell, do we have any sports questions today?
I'm going all time again. Running backs, all-time yardage generator for running backs in the NFL. Who is it?
You got some good questions there, guys.
I'll tell you who it should be, but who it isn't. But that's a whole different story.
That's a different ball.
All right, guys. I hope everyone's doing well out there. All right. Keep on pushing. Keep your nose to the grind. We hopefully will see you back here after Christmas break. But right now, we're just going to keep on plugging away. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going great. You're getting enough sleep. You're getting enough hydration. And you're pushing through no matter what life's throwing at you. We hope you're better today than you were yesterday. And tomorrow, you'll be a better person than you are today. Keep on pushing. Push on 3, 1, 2, 3. Push!